everyone, and welcome again to Creative Cakes by Sharon. You guessed it, today I am creating Liam from One Direction. Guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel to see how to create these fantastic toppers of Harry, Louis, Niall and Zayn. So as you can see, we don't need too many things to create this, but we will need a Liam template, and you can get a copy of this in the description box below. I've got a fondant roller, a pair of scissors, a black edible marker, my X-Acto blade, about 250 grams of gum paste, got 2 lengths of wire here, as well as some wax paper. So the first thing I need to do is roll out my gum paste, and I'm going to roll this out just big enough to fit my template on, and I want to keep it about 1/2 centimetre thick because we don't want it too thin, otherwise the wire is going to poke out either the front or the back, and it needs to be nice and strong once it's dry to stand up. Now I've got my template on top of the gum paste, and I'm going to use my X-Acto blade to carefully cut all the way around the template. Make sure that the bottom cut is nice and straight because this is going to be the edge that either stands on top of your cake or in front of your cake. So carefully working around the template, I'm going to just make sure I take the time to get into all the little grooves because this will add to the final amount of detail in my cake topper. Now it's time for me to insert the wires into my gum paste, so I'm just going to start from the bottom and work my way gently and slowly. I'm using my other hand on top of the gum paste just to guide and feel the wire as I push it in. I'm going to put it into about 3/4 of the way up. You can see I've left a bit of a fingerprint and some marks which are easily smoothed out using some light pressure with my fondant roller. Then it's just a matter of carefully transferring the gum paste onto my piece of wax paper and leaving it for a good 24 hours to harden up fully. Now that the topper is nice and hard, it's time to start adding the details. So to do this, I'm first going to start from the bottom of my template, cutting out the white section of Liam's t-shirt. Then I'm going to place that template onto my gum paste, and with my black edible marker, I'm just going to trace around the bottom edge of the template. Now I'm going to cut the next section of the template out, and I'm going to start at the very edge and follow the black line all the way up under his neck and under his chin. It's important when you're cutting out the template to cut out whole sections at a time. Then carefully reposition the template onto the gum paste. Take your time and make sure it's in the exact position that it needs to be, joining up all the edges. And then with the black edible marker, outline all of the areas that we just cut out from the template. Now I'm going to move on to Liam's mouth. So making a cut from the side of the template, I'm just going to work my way around the entire black section of his mouth. It is a little bit tricky to keep weaving the scissors around the corners. You might have a smaller and finer pair of scissors than me, which might be of assistance, but if not, you can see that these larger ones are doing just fine. So once I've cut out the mouth, I'm going to reposition the template onto the gum paste and fill in the mouth with the black edible marker. Always remember to carefully lift up the template every time you finish a section, and for these little shadowy specks at the bottom of his mouth, I'm just going to use the template as a guide to draw them in. Now I'm going to work on Liam's right eye, just starting from the side, cutting right around the black section, placing it onto the template and colouring it in. Next I'm going to cut out the entire section of his hair, and with the template on the gum paste, I'm just going to outline the very edge of his hairline and fill in the few little spotty details on his ear. The final feature is of course his other eye, and by now hopefully you've got the idea of what we're doing. So just cutting around the template and placing the template onto the gum paste and filling in the black shaded area. Now finally, before I shade in the entire remaining black section, I'm going to add the highlights into Liam's hair, and because it's a little bit tricky to cut all these little bits out of the template, I'm just going to use the template as a guide and draw them in freehand. There's no exact science to this, so if you add a few or leave out a few, it's totally up to you. Then the final thing to do is to colour in all of the remaining black sections. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of Liam. It really isn't that tricky to do. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a like and share it with your friends. I love hearing from you, so don't forget to leave me some feedback in the comment section below. And don't forget to tell me who's your favourite One Direction band member. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more creative cake tutorials, and as always, thanks for watching.